And college. College has become out of reach for most families. Kids like me, we all know them. Kids like me who've done everything that's been asked of them, studied, prepared, with the hope of going to college, only to get there and to look at the cost and think there's no way I'm going to put my family in this kind of jeopardy for a college education. And for those who take the risk and make the investment like I did, my brother did, Barack did, then we come out in 4 years with so much debt that many of us forgo the careers of our dreams. You know, we've become a society where we're pricing our young people out of teaching and social work and government and journalism. Anything that is the backbone of the society, your salary won't cover the cost of the education. Unless you're a hedge fund manager or a corporate lawyer, it's hard to pay your debt off. And Barack and I know this. We talk about this all the time. We're just a few years out of paying down our educational debt because we did what we thought we were supposed to do. We didn't stay in corporate America. We went out and worked in the community. Every job we took, we made less money. My mother was like, what is going on with you two? He said, Mom, we're working for the people. She said, yes, but you're broke. And we were. The only reason we're out of debt now is because Barack wrote these 2 best-selling books, which I thank you all for. Thank you for buying the books. Because I was sitting around waiting for Barack's trust fund to pop up. Kept looking at him. You sure you don't have a trust fund? He's like, nope. And then we heard about Cheney, and we thought, ooh. Dick Cheney, Barack's cousin. He's supposed to be related to my son. He was like, who? Dick Cheney, yeah. Vice President Cheney, Barack's supposed to be related to him. I know. We're waiting for our share of the inheritance. Anyway. But we were lucky. We were lucky. And there are millions of young couples like us with master's degrees, PhDs, working hard. Barack's other sister is a teacher. She can't barely pay off her student loans and pay for gas and take care of childcare on her teaching salary. And she is wondering, how am I going to create a future for myself? How do I begin to save for my child's college education when I haven't even paid off my own? That's the position that many young couples are in. Plus, they are struggling to figure out how to care for their kids. These couples who now have to have 2 people working don't have access to affordable and quality child care. And if you do, you're not really secure about it. You know, there are so many of us young mothers who are just agonizing over child care. And I breathe in and out deeply because of my mother, who is 70 years old and retired. She is at home with the girls right now, getting them ready to go to school in the morning. Good luck, Mom. They've been on vacation for a little while. And there's nothing like grandma, you know? I mean, we have a societal interest in taking care of our seniors. You know, we need them. We need those grandparents around, healthy and secure, to help us. You know? My mom lost her mind. Rules are gone in our house. It's like, why do they have to have vegetables? They don't like vegetables. Like, who are you? What happened to my mother? But there is nothing like that kind of love, having someone there helping you as a young parent share in the values that you learned, raise those kids. You know, we need our seniors to be whole, healthy, and financially in a position to continue to contribute. But we're not there. Because my mom has the pension from my father's job that no longer exists. So she's in a financial position to be able to help us. But a lot of our seniors aren't there. So this is how we're living, 2008, the beginning of the new year. This is it. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not stretching the truth. I know everybody in this room is dealing with some of what I just said. And it's gotten harder and harder over my lifetime. Through Democratic and Republican administrations, it's gotten harder for regular people. Now, there are people who have seen some booms, and they've profited but most regular folks are struggling. And Barack says our greatest challenge as a nation is not that we're suffering from a deficit of resources because we're a wealthy nation. There's money here. And it's not that we're suffering from a deficit of policies and plans because I know New Hampshire. For you all want to know, what's the policy position? You want to know. And you should know. But the truth is this stuff isn't that complicated on a lot of issues. If we take public education, we know what we need to do. It costs money. It requires good teaching. It requires resources as an investment. And you know how I know that we know? Because there are thousands of excellent public schools all over this country. They exist. The problem is that they don't exist for all children. You have to be one of the lucky ones living in the right neighborhood with the right parent to get you into that one or two of the good schools in your community, and everybody else is out of luck. Because what Barack says we're suffering from right now is a deficit of empathy. You know, we live in a nation where we do have a mutual obligation to one another. Those aren't just words. That's true. But I know in my lifetime, as an adult focusing on this stuff, I don't remember us being asked by our leadership to sacrifice or compromise for one another. I don't remember ever being asked. You know, we're a nation at war right now where the only people who are sacrificing are the folks, the soldiers, the men and women and their families who are over there. And we haven't been asked to pay a tax, to collect a can, to darn a sock, nothing. In fact, we were told just keep shopping. That's true. And if we're not directly affected by the war, we're not even thinking about it on a daily basis. That's where we are. You know, what we need is a reminder that we are one another's brothers and sisters keepers. That is true. That's where we start. Because we have to sacrifice and compromise for one another. And if we live in isolation and we don't know each other, it becomes very difficult to want to compromise for people that you don't think share your values. We need a different leadership because our souls are broken. We have holes in our souls in ways that I don't think we recognize. And we need to be inspired first to want to be a better nation, to want to treat one another better, to make the sacrifices that are necessary to push us to a different place. I know that so fundamentally. It's so much more clear to me today than it was even before we got in this race. It's our leadership that we need first and foremost. That's why I know Barack is special, and we need to get this done now. We need Barack Obama now because he is the only candidate in this race who's going to inspire us in the way that we need to.